What is good, team? What is up, family? How you doing, everybody? Thank you, everybody, for coming by. Sebastian Lim, moderator Sebastian Lim, Samantha H, Mark Roach, Cal L. What's up, guys? Thank you for showing up. Thank you. Oh my goodness, Andy Nguyen, what is up, my dude? Please tell me this, Andy Nguyen. Did you get a direct message from me last week? And let me know if it was you who I was talking to in Discord. I'm sorry, in Discord, in Twitter. Let me know if it was you, my bro. What is up, Infamous Chicken? How you doing, man? How you doing? Yeah, definitely, guys. Make sure to hit that like button. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already. Throw those A's in the chat. Let me go ahead and see that you guys are actually there, man. Throw those A's in the chat right now, you guys. Thank you, everybody, for coming by. We're gonna have an interesting read tonight, right, you guys? So I actually do have to complete my notes over here for the schedule, right? So, but yeah. So what's up, guys? What is good? Sean Harris, good to see you here, man. What's up? Thank you, everybody. Thank you. Lil AR-15, what's up, man? Are you really? You got some spy puts coming in? Let's see, spy puts when spy hits 400. If I remember correctly, man, I think we had a resistance at about 415. But I mean, remember, guys, tomorrow is the infamous day. Tomorrow will essentially be I'm talking about the rate hike tomorrow, guys. So if we do get that 25 bit rate hike, oh man, okay, I do think that there could be a quick capitulation followed by a continuation onto the upside. And now remember, the sentiment or the ratings, the analysts are saying that there is a chance to where there could be no rate hike, but don't count on it, guys. You never want to count on those types of things, right? Expect always the worst, right? So we have to just kind of consider the probabilities for a 25%, a 25 bip, right? So then that would actually just make the markets kind of continue in the direction that they want to go in, right? So EGIO is right up here. Remember, moderator Sebastian Lim, the schedule is always right up here. So it's already in the schedule as number 3. We do have, let's see, so we have SPY, we have the NDX, EGIO, HUBC, we have REI, INM, we have COSM, we also have CDTX in line, okay? So we do have a few, let's see, IDEX, what's that one, my brother? I'll go ahead and add it right now. But I don't think I've actually looked at that one before, to be perfectly honest with you. But yeah, we can definitely add it into the schedule. I feel like it may be a little slower than normal tonight, and that should actually be an encouraged thing because of the rate hike tomorrow. So in fact, a lot of people tend to kind of keep still until after these volatile times. Right, so IDEX is Ideonomics, right? So on the NASDAQ, cool. All right, so we got it on the list right here, my dude. We'll definitely go ahead and check that out as well. So let's see, what else is the chat saying right here, man? So Cal-El saying group watch happening now on the Arca Bulls Discord. For real? Is that? No way, that's dope. I want to be there and watch me or whatever. What's up, team? Very happy to have everybody here tonight, man. Good crowd, right? So now let's see. I don't know how to actually say that, but is that Coder EDK? Right. What's up, Boz? Thanks for the live, man. You're very welcome, my dude. I hope that we can actually prepare some cool things right here, right? So HNRC getting warm? No way. What's how did you get that one? Was that a scan or is that something that's popping off on StockTwits or something? So let's go ahead and put it on the list as well. Let's see what we got, dude. Let's see. Okay, so I'm sorry. Let me just go ahead and go back into that. You said what was it? Here it is. Okay, HNRC, right? So HNRC. Is that really what it is, bro? Check the spelling on that. Yeah, unless I'm just being ridiculous over here, right? So there it is, HNRC. Yeah, no, man, I definitely don't. Is that it? The OTC you're looking at? Is that the one? Miss L, what's up? Beso Amy, good to see you here. XX, what's up, man? And what time is tomorrow's rate hike? I believe that is going to be at 11:30 a.m. Eastern time. If I'm not mistaken, it's usually around that time, but we'll go ahead and and double check that. Daniel Gonzalez, what's up? What's up? Thanks for coming by. Biana, what's up? Rate meeting is okay. So on Wednesday, I thought it was Tuesday. Are you sure, Biana? So then we can let everybody know. Randy Campbell, good to see you here. What's up, Pack XJ 900? BSFC. Oh, do I have it up? Let me see. I don't have it up, but I assume you're talking about the price action, right? So, yeah, let me add it into the list right now and see what we got for BSFC. So, yeah, man. So we just have to be very, very careful for the coming days. Kenny Powers, what's up? What's up? And yeah, not a problem. XX, I definitely welcome all the crowd here, man. All good in the hood. So actually, let's HNRC. Yeah, okay, so it's a pink. Got it. So yeah, we definitely got it up on the schedule now. HNRC, right? Cool deal. And it's Mark Roach. Moderator Mark Roach is telling us that the rate hike is actually going to be on Wednesday, not tomorrow, right, you guys? So we have to watch out what this week is going to bring for us, guys. Lots of volatility, and it's going to be very dangerous. Okay, so Biana saying it is the 22nd that the chairman Jerome Powell, Fed Chair Powell, right? He's going to be talking on Wednesday, giving us that Fed cutting rate to avert Armageddon. My dude, what do you know about that? Moderator Cal L, what do you know about that? Are you hearing some rumors? Are you hearing some news? What are they saying about, well, I know the banking crisis and all that stuff, right? So, I mean, that's hella speculative, dude. If they're going to just not rate hike because of that, man, that's crazy. So, BBJ, what's up? Sup, Arca? You, sir, are a badass. Keep up the good vibes. And TA, BBJ, I couldn't be more thankful to you, man. Really, really appreciate you coming by. We got a few tickers. If you're BBJ, if you're curious, this is the schedule right up here, right? So we got a few tickers in line right now. Lots of cool things coming up. I want to look at the broader markets first, right? So we're going to get rid of the SPY and NDX and then see what we have as a potential for the coming days, right? So sometimes formation theory and, current or relevant supports and resistances could potentially tell us a little story, right? We don't want to speculate like that, though, right? We just say what the charts are saying, and if it gets invalidated by some fundamental catalyst, then so be it. Cal L saying, unexpect the expected. Witty times here. Oh my goodness, dude. Good times. Really stoked to be streaming tonight, guys. Okay, I'm not gonna lie, I've had a very tough last couple days. Lots of scary things coming up, man. Stickfishes, what is that? Dude, are you serious? Thank you so much for that donation. Bro, what can I ever do, right? So markets, COSM was harsh today. Whatevs, drinks with friends and my battle are on me tonight and just having some fun. Kal-El, tell Hound the party is over here. Hound is actually on the voice channel right now. I think he was talking to Joe H. I think that right now they're plotting against the world right now. Let's see what's up. Stick, that's really kind of you, dude. My battle, I can't ever express my thanks to you, man. That's really cool. And oh my goodness, man. So yeah, I really want for everyone to be super careful in the coming days. Okay, you guys remember the volatility that we're about to just undertake. First of all, we are in this banking crisis, right? So many of these tickers, FRC, what was it? The Credit Suisse, right? All of these ones are just capitulating. Remember, Wells Fargo too, right? So just remember that a lot of these are not capitulating because of fundamental reasons. A lot of these are capitulating in respects to just overall sentiment, right? So it's just the sentiment feels like it needs to be driven down. So if mass sentiment agrees with that, then we're all going to just follow the trend and short the crap out of everything, right? So we have to be careful into what we're trading right now. Okay, you guys, anything can happen, but there's a lot of negative pressure. Okay, so and that negative pressure could very much even still be presented to us, good news or bad news. Remember the inverse markets today, man, and then we just recover whenever it does recover. Just whale games here. So Basil Amy saying TENX still on track. Let's go ahead and take a look at TENX. It looks like it went up a good 9 to 10% today, right? So good recovery on that ticker. I know a lot of people are actually holding holding at a loss right now. So hopefully you were able to get back some of those losses. So we'll take a look at TENX as well, as there could be a continuation to the upside. But remember, guys, we just want to look at the charts and see what the charts are saying, see what the math is saying, probability, statistics, right? So as long as we do that, and as long as we look at the markets as a game of probabilities, then that would be okay. What I can tell you right now is take a look at this beauty right now. If we do print this bi-daily candle above, I'm talking above the valuation of 53 cents, that would create a bullish engulfing on the bi-daily figure here, and that would definitely have a good impact for price action. Okay, so of course we'll validate it with other things, but everything is looking good, right? So yeah, not a problem. Master 117, what is up, my dude? So I'll go ahead and put EPAZ on the list as well. So man, I'm just still looking at that bright red notification there. Stig, that's really dope, bro. Thank you for your donation, man. That really kicks ass. All right, man. Thank you, Mark Roach. Got it, my dear. I'm just going to dim it down just a little bit so we can concentrate just a little bit more, right? Very good times here, you guys. So EPAZ, right? Dude, I can't even type because of your crazy ass, man. So let me just go ahead and put that here and see what we got going for this one as well. Okay, so we did have a preload for this one as well, and it looks like we're facing a support very soon. Good times, good times. And also, the 3-day candle iteration is ending tomorrow. Okay, 3-day period in general. Stig has referenced himself as not a whale. He actually has referenced himself as a supporter of the Arca Bulls family. And you see what I mean? He literally just texted that, right? Good times, Stig. Thank you. Oh my goodness, man. So yeah, you guys. So let's go ahead and start diving in on the process over here, because we really need to take a look at the broader markets to see. You look at him. He said not a whale, guys. No, we're definitely we don't want to call out things like that, right? Because sometimes things like that could definitely not be true, right? We want to make sure that we can keep our whatever those, our valuations, our portfolios, all those they're personals, right? So we keep them to ourselves. But yeah, my Stig, he's such a good guy. And so what's up, Aso Amy? How you doing today? Very, very good to see you here in the chat. Samantha H, love it that you're always here helping out, right? Moderator Cal L finally back into the business right here, coming through. And guys, if you remember, Sebastian Lim is our new moderator right now. Make sure to give him a big, huge hug, right? Mark Roach, thank you so much for reminding the crew right here that they need to like and subscribe on their way in. Thank you so much, you guys. Really appreciate everything that you do for the Arca Bulls family. Okay, so I got a few things to just kind of note on my notes here. So EGIO is the third ticker, right? HUBC. How many of you guys are stuck in HUBC? Let me know if you are stuck in HUBC right now. What's up, Monster Mike? Good to see you here. Good times, guys. Good times. So HUBC was that ticker that we were talking about last week. I think I don't know if somebody called it a trap or something, right? But some interesting things happened with that. And regarding the ticker picks, the early ticker picks. Remember, Renaissance Wolf, you're in that. Okay, damn it. We'll look over that and see what could be in store for the following days, right? In the following sessions. So HUBC definitely trapped a bunch of people. I'm not gonna lie. So let's see. No HUBC for me. Oh my goodness. That's good, man. That's good. Infamous Chicken saying I'm stuck in TRKA. What? Didn't TRKA? Oh, it recently went up and then it just came back down, right? Man. Wait a second. I will give Arca a big donation when I get unfingered. I'm like, am I reading that correctly? Is he saying unfingered? Sebastian Lim, you're too kind, my dude. I thought FNGR was making an upside move. What happened, bro? Did the thing capitulate on you or what? Why are you? Let me see. I don't remember what we last said, right? So this is let me see. I forgot which. Oh, this is the one right here. FNGR, man. You and FNGR, man. So Sebastian Lim just continuously he's getting the finger from finger. He's just getting the finger, man, every single time, like he's racing against somebody. Like he has a little Toyota Corolla, right? A 1998 Toyota Corolla, and decides to go up against a 458 Ferrari. and then the 458 Ferrari like just fingers him. That is finger to you, bro. Don't do that. So we'll look over FNGR if we get the chance to. All right, my dude. Joe H, good to see you here, my bro. Thank you for your donation. That really means a lot, my dude. I'm excited to look at your algorithms and look at your sequences for the coming. I'm sorry, for the broader markets. In fact, actually, for really any ticker, right? As I'm very curious over your mathematical model stuff. So Joe H, thank you so much for what you do for the family, my dude. Really, give him the finger, says Ms. L. Like high school all over again. Mark Roach, are you telling me you would get the finger all the time in high school? Don't let them give you the finger, my bro. Good times, guys. All right, so did I finish my notes? Of course I didn't. You guys are distracting me. Stop distracting Arca, all right? What the heck's up with the COSM? Well, Renaissance Wolf, we're going to find out today because it was a little tough, wasn't it? So, in fact, oh, man, did I put it up on the schedule already? Yes, I did. Good. The reason why I'm excited to look over this one is because of the capitulation it looked at today, right? I want to see what it did to momentum and to volatility. It would be very cool for us to see just how flashed we are, right? So we'll definitely get to this ticker. Oh, okay. So the shorter time frames. Oh my goodness! Come on, COSM. We got to get this guy to pop off. There you go. We have a nice little setup, maybe happening over the next 2 days on the 8 hours. So we'll look at that one too, you guys. Okay. So COSM, I know, has a lot of sentiment behind that one right now too, right? Lots of downside, but it looks like in the after hours, it kind of sort of something. This already reminds me of this is a shakeout position, right? So if we are facing, this could actually, wow, this could very well be a terminal shakeout in Wyckoff theory. Man, I'm very curious over that now. But yeah, you guys, we have to just move along the schedule just like we always do, right? So let me just make sure that I have a couple more things in my notes right here. So we have REI. We definitely are going to look at ticker symbol INM as well. So somebody actually commented saying that I had my INM last. I think I only looked at it for one session too, maybe one video I released. This was probably, I don't know, it was months ago, maybe 4 or 5 months ago, I think. And they told me that it aged well, and I'm like, what? I mean, and then I see the chart, right? Of course, it capitulated all the way to the downside. But there's one candle. There's one candle that made a 79% move to the upside. And my statistical backtest was 86% to the upside. So the thing definitely made the upside. Unfortunately, it made it over the span of maybe like a day or within 1 to 5 days or something like that, right? So very interesting times for the statistical backtests. Oh my goodness, you guys. So Stick Vicious saying COSM needs official completion of them 2 acquisitions and that damn share buyback. Boom. You're talking about Zip Doctor. Is that still the case going on with that one? My goodness. Look at that. Stick Vicious is offering Sebastian Lim. Dude, he's offering you. He's going to buy your finger shares, okay? So Sebastian Lim is saying TRKA is on its way back to 11 cents. I don't know where TRKA is currently sitting, but 11 cents as in going up or going down. I don't know where it is, remember, okay, you guys? So I think this is a pretty good place for me to, let's see, INM, we have COSM right after that. We're going to be covering CDTX as well. I think that was another one that was requested from a member here, but I'm not exactly sure if she's here. I think her name was Karen. She was asking me for this one, right? So CDTX, we'll go ahead and look at it for her no matter what. And we do have IDEX as well, okay? So, and please remember, guys, that we're not going to be rating the tickers tonight because we definitely have to be very careful with what could be happening this week. Lots of economical data coming up, right? So this is going to present a large, very, very large amount of volatility in the markets, right? So Stick Vicious saying Zip Doctor and CANA acquisitions. Cana. Nice. Okay, peoples, smash that like button, says moderator Cal L. I agree with Sebastian on TRKA, going back to 11. Nice. Okay, so for reals, check HNRC. Might be good grab for the people in here. So HNRC, yeah, definitely, man. We'll go ahead and get that taken care of. And we'll look at volatility. We'll look at momentum. We'll look at the averages on this thing. We'll pull it all up. and get it squared away, right? So we'll move along as per the schedule. So let me look at the notes one more time, right? So we have IDEX right after CDTX, and we're going to look at HNRC right after that. So HNRC will be that ticker, and let's see, after HNRC, oh, I already have it twice, right? So let me get rid of one of those, and then we'll look at TENX as well right after that. So I'm not saying that we're going to stop there. I'm just saying that I'm going to try my very best to get through these tickers as fast as humanly possible. So I'm going to add EPAZ to the list as well, right? So cool. Good deal. We have, and of course, Sebastian Lim's finger. Sebastian Lim, my dude, what will I ever do without you, bro? I seriously enjoy talking to you, man. Good times. All right, you guys, so let's go ahead and get the things into a serious note right here and get our evaluations evaluated. Okay, so ticker symbol SPY, the SPY, the SPDR S&P 500 ETF Trust, right? So let's go ahead and look at this now. Please remember that we've been talking about a broadening, descending. Stick Vicious, how dare you do this to me? The moment I start, ticker symbol SPY, my dude, I couldn't be more thankful to you, bro. Who needs a refill before the tickers begin, bro? Stig, my dude, I love you, man. Thank you so much. That is so kind of you, my guys. The donation really does mean a lot, my dude. Are you doing this because you noticed that I made $11 last night or what? Sebastian Lim came through. Oh, my goodness, man. Thank you, my brother. So, yeah, look at this. Sebastian Lim saying, I got to give a donation to Cal L for asking me to get out of EPAZ. Cal L has a very strong discretionary side, and he is developing his systems too, man. I have to give hats off, man. Hats off. The markets are a tough place, okay, you guys. So yeah, let's go ahead and now officially. Nope, I'm waiting for the after party. Says Stick Vicious, my dude. Okay, so let's officially start off with that ticker, guys, and that's gonna be ticker symbol SPY. All right, so we were talking about a broadening descending wedge. Larger term time frame, guys. Remember, this broadening descending wedge is anxiety, right? So anxiety is you don't want to mess with that, right? Because there's a lot of trickery, a lot of traps within a formation like this. But overall, the good thing about a formation like this is that it presents the potential of an overall reversal in price. So meaning that it just reaccumulates, right? So I mean, if you're looking at the SPY historically, I mean, just look at that, like it's right. In fact, as you start going back, you start to see this little thing over here, maybe as just like a little bit of a bull flag, right? So yeah, this very well could be, right? But we don't like bull flags. We don't talk about bull flags. We talk about statistics and probabilities here, right? Get Arca out of here. All right. So the good thing about this broadening descending wedge is that we're building another one, you guys. We have a smaller time frame broadening descending wedge, and it has reclaimed the outside, meaning that this has already, and I'm going to say it as a potential first, okay? We have potentially validated the support, the newly converted resistance into a support for this broadening descending wedge. Okay, so that's a very important metric. So the next step for us to break out, for us to officially break out, would be a continuation to the upside, but the upside must be combated here, okay? We need to pass $400.13 in order for us to get out of this like downside, okay? So we need to make sure to clear $400.13 with a minimum 4-hour candle above it. In fact, I'm going to retrace the 4-hour candle and say that we need a minimum daily. Okay, so this upside could very much be contingent upon the release of the 25 bips or the no bips, right? So if they do pause rate hikes entirely, man, oh man, the markets could rally hard. Okay, so load up those calls, man. Let's get out of here. Right, not financial advice. I didn't say that, and don't ever buy anything in the markets ever again. All right, so let's go ahead and continue on this right here. Let's see what the volatility has to tell us in the shorter time frames, because I do not see something set up on the buy daily. So let's see. Okay, the setup right now on the daily, volatility versus momentum. Remember, volatility represented by this indicator BBWP, momentum represented by stochastic momentum. So this is a stochastics oscillator, which is representing two moving averages, a 3-day exponential moving average and a 14-day simple. Okay, so we have, remember, your bullish control zone is located above the 50 percentile all the way up to the 80 percentile. Okay, your bearish is down here all the way to 1956. Right now, the reason why I'm telling you this is because we are in the gravitational zone entering the bullish control zone after a critical contraction move. So we're now starting our expansion phase with both of the volatility component and the moving average upside of the 15 percentile with a pretty aggressive upside suggestion on the stochastics oscillator. You guys, this is suggesting an upside continuation. Okay, so this is pretty powerful. All right, so now let's go down to the 12-hour as it may have something similar. Let's see. All right, so the faster time frame, 3-day exponential, is already suggesting an upside. We are capitulating a little bit on the 14-day simple, but remember, it's a slower time frame, so very likely to be influenced by the shorter time frame sooner than later, actually. So let's just continue on continue down the line and see if we. Okay, so same thing with the 8-hour right here, right? So we still have that upside pivot on the shorter time frame, or now starting. So very likely we can have that 4-hour, 14-day simple moving average influence to the upside. So let's take a look at this here now. Okay, so 4-hour giving us an upside as well. So now regarding momentum via the RSI, I want to take a look at the relevant time frame simple moving averages as well. So very important thing on the daily though. Okay, we need to take a look at the daily one more time to see what kind of resistance we have above us, right? First of all, we have the 200-day simple moving average and the SMA 10 right below us as support, so that's already pretty good, and it gives us a good chance to succeed the SMA 100. Okay, so that would be awesome. The SMA 100 is located at 394.83, meaning that if we do face a type of resistance tomorrow from the SPY, very likely it'll happen at the confluent area where the SMA 100 is sitting, 394.83, and on the 12-hour time frame is the SMA 200 at 394.83. Okay, so very likely we can see a resistance touch here. We come back, test our current highs of about 393.74, then a continuation to the upside. Okay, so that's it's already giving me some positive signals here. Okay, so let me just go ahead and finish off the SPY here because we still have to look at the NDX as well. But guys, please allow me to open up the window because it's already super hot in here, man. Let me just get this window open. Hold up. There we go, you guys. All right, so now we got to continue on with the ticker symbol NDX, right? So NDX is the NASDAQ. So let's look at the NASDAQ 100 index and see what it's got for us. A little bit of a messy chart right here. We're gonna have to get rid of our old fibs and take a quick gander. Okay, guys, look at this. This is very cool. First of all, let me definitely get rid of the fibs so that we can see, right? So remember that I mentioned that we had that silver cross right back here at about, let me see, January 24th. And we are still continuing on to the upside. Remember, historically speaking, the silver cross, which is the EMA 20 crossing the EMA 50, that's historically a bullish sign. And I'm talking about macro perspective, okay? So it's very, and we have the upside pivots on both of the moving averages right now. Okay, so the support line that we were looking at before definitely got respected before that bounce to the upside. Okay, I already like what I'm seeing. So let's refer to momentum and see what we have. Oh, man. Okay, so actually now we need to look at historically how high we've gone up on. Okay, so first of all, let me just make a note here that this is our present time. Right about here. We're sitting at about 84.83%, right? Now let's look back historically to see how high we've actually taken this, right? So I mean, already we can see the majority of the rejections are coming in at about 99.47. So that's already huge, you guys. So even if we don't go back all the way historically to see just how high we can go, we're still massively away from that, okay? A good 14%. And I wouldn't doubt to see if we've even maxed out at that area. So the potentials here are always maxed out. Looking historically, it tells us that we can always max out on this thing, right? So that's very curious. So I like it a lot. So it looks like the cap is about 99.82%, which is pretty much all the way 100, right? So, and we have the daily RSI. Let's see. Daily RSI is already correcting that pivot, but it looks a little bit like consolidation, if anything. The 14-day simple moving average giving us that bias to the upside. So this is looking good overall. Let's go to the 30-minute immediate short term and see what we have. Okay, so a little bit of consolidation there too. The positive side is that we're sitting in the gravitational zone of the bull weakness percentile, so an upside continuation could be likely for the immediate short term. Okay, so let's go to the bi-hourly. Okay, remember I've told you guys several times of the importance of crossing a moving average on an upside pivot. Okay, so if I zoom in very, very, very closely, you can see that we're about to do that. See, we're crossing that to the upside. This is a very bullish signal coming out of the bi-hourly time frame NDX. Okay, so this is a good thing. Let me minimize volatility versus momentum here and continue on the analysis. Okay, so let's go on to the 6 hour actually and see what it's got in store for us. Okay, 6 hour time frame with an upside pivot. We are definitely outside of the gravitational zone, approaching the next gravitational zone. So this is a very bullish statement as well. Not to mention that silly little bull flag here. Okay, so let's go ahead and now look at the 12 hour and see what we have. Okay, 12 hour suggesting some consolidation just like it did on the daily. So we can't really use that too much. Okay, so gravitational zone right here on the 2-day. 17 hours to go to close this bi-daily iteration here. Closing it at around the same value where we in, or even at about 12,665. This would pressure the markets overall to the upside. So things are looking really, really interesting here. And go ahead and notice the 3-day time frame about to close, and we're already almost at break even to this candle here. So the break even point for this candle is actually where it opened. Okay, so let's see. So where it opened was at about 12,569. We can also look at the candle valuations over here. Look at the letter O for the open. We'll hover over it, right? So 12,570. I said 569, whatever. So it is right there. So we have a little bit more to go, and this candle will psychologically close green. Okay, so meaning that this could be a continuation candle for the upside to eventually come into the range of about, I'd say, a small resistance, 12,880, before a continuation to the upside, testing these resistances here, which just so happen to be confluent with our top side of our ascending channel. 13,080 could very well be possible by the end of the week this week. Okay, you guys, but please don't take that as financial advice. Okay, don't take that as like that's going to do it and that's it. Okay, because we still have a lot of things to kind of keep in consideration here. First of all, notice that the 3-day is in critical volatility here, critical contraction. Okay, so when we are critically contracted like this means that the expansion phase could lead to a pretty powerful move, whether it be the upside or downside. Okay, so as of right now, we are suggesting an upside via the stochastics oscillator, right? So if we're going to face a downside, that would be likely to whatever the Fed says. Okay, so but we may have an actual chance at seeing what this 3-day iteration will do on Wednesday, 16 hours, 58 minutes from now. Okay, you guys, so that is going to do it for the ticker symbol NDX and for the SPY. So that was essentially our broader market outlook, right? So now we have another ticker that we need to take a look at, guys. A lot of people talking about this one I see, and that's ticker symbol EGIO. Okay, so I'm not exactly familiar with this ticker myself. This is the first time I do hear of it. And I'm curious to see what it has, because it does have some popularity in it. Okay, so a lot of the times people tend to trade momentum. People tend to trade the trend, right? So if that is the case here, then there could be an opportunity presented. Okay, but I do have to warn you guys about something real quick. Okay, as I'm just noticing it right now, as I'm closing these tools, I'm noticing a huge bearish engulfing on the daily already. Okay, so this could be some type of trap. We'll go ahead and find out what trap that is. Okay, remember, a bearish engulfing candle structure consists of a red candle engulfing the previous smaller body green candle. Okay, so that is a bearish signal. Okay, so now if we're able to look historically and see if there's any other times to where we have respected bearish engulfings, well, we can definitely do that. So this is a way to backtest things. Right here is an iteration of a bearish engulfing candle here, downside right after it, right? So this was not a bearish engulfing, that was just signals. And let's see what else we have, if there could be any other signals for it. look at very interesting times right here. This is a bullish engulfing and failed, so that could potentially be a trap as well. Okay, so another bullish engulfing right here, and it did eventually trap and then continued on to the upside. Bearish engulfing absolutely realized here, and then it continued on, right? So this is a good way for you to do some simple back testing, right? For you to just kind of look at the potentials of candle analysis along with any other charting skills or data sets or whatever. So this is another bearish engulfing followed by a downside, and the last one I'm just going to do real quick is just this one right here. Okay, so this is another bearish engulfing followed by a downside. So you can see that the odds just right now by testing to, let's see, August 30th, 2022, the odds are more with the bearish engulfing favoring the downside, right? So this is, I'm just kind of expressing a way for you to look at the markets, right? So now that we have that out of the way, we can see that there could be an actual threat to this, right? So it's not all the way statistically backed, and not all the way, we haven't gathered enough samples in order for us to make a determination as to how many times yes versus no. Okay, so Master117 saying, I love Arca more than my kids. Quote, Batman. And that was a quote, Batman in the Lego movie. Nice. All right. So, the only thing I don't like is this massive gap down, right? And I think it happened in respects to negative earnings, right? So the good thing here is that earnings could be, let me see. Oh man, it looks like earnings are no way. Earnings are tomorrow. Okay, so earnings are tomorrow, and the estimate is actually they're estimating a miss. Okay, so let's see historically what we have. Okay, so, and it's been trading a good while, so this is actually pretty good. 78 cents. Okay, so it looks like we have more earnings beats than we have earnings misses. So that's another thing to kind of keep an eye on, right? Let's look at the cap, and let's look at the float, right? I want to see what we have in store here. So market cap sitting at a very comfortable 175.38 mil, and the share float at about 134 mil too. This is definitely not a bad ticker, right? So as it does present opportunity. Well, a good thing here is that we have the stochastic momentum pivoted to the upside from critically oversold, and the volatility is critically expanded, right within the 90 percentile and both of the moving average and the component, right? So now, look at it historically speaking, right? So there are iterations where we actually kind of faked out and then came back down, and or we stayed, for a long period, right? So just things like this. So this upside move that we got here is consistent of a move from here to here. Opening of the candle being at about 380 to the top side of this wick being about $4. Okay, so not always can we trust volatility versus momentum, but we do have to back it with other things or other signals, right? So let's go ahead and now load up our moving averages, and we'll load up the RSI. Okay, so actually I would love to minimize these, as I would like to pull up the ARC substance, the new indicator that I've been developing, right? So let me just go ahead and pull up substance and see our overall resistances on the daily time frame, right? So daily time frame is suggesting, oh wow, let me actually see this. So I literally have a code right now that is moving this to the right. Okay, so just bear with me as this indicator is still in development right now. Okay, so our next support, or the next relevant support, if we are able to face an upside, guys, it's going to be a little tough, right? We have 86 cents, and that could be in respects to the daily, that's the daily resistance, right? So if we can make it to 86 cents and close above that 86 cent level, we have a little bit of resistance coming up at the weekly support of 93, but I wouldn't really consider that as the biggest resistance. The biggest resistance would be the actual weekly resistance at 102. Okay, so as long as we are below the 86 cent level on EGIO, I consider this to be bearish, or kind of keeping the bears as favorable here, right? So upon an impulsive thrust, there is a potential to reach even $1.77 on this. So let's see if those potentials are actually viable for us now. Okay, so let's get rid of the ARC substance and take a look at our mean. Where are we on that? Okay, so this is another one that I've actually just developed, and this is the ARC reversion variant. And you'll know when they're my indicators because you'll see ARC in front of them, right? I won't ever title them otherwise. So the mean on the daily coming up at $1.11. Okay, so now if we are able to look at the metric from the weekly resistance, where I told you that this would be the resistance to kind of watch out for, 102 to 111 is now our gap that we can look at as an overall resistance area. Okay, so very likely this can face a huge pullback from this area here, but let's validate this. I mean, we're already getting a long signal from the algorithm, and it looks like it's averaging down right now. So very interesting, as it is averaging down, suggesting an upside soon. But let's not trust that all the way. Let's validate it with more and more and more. Okay, so let's add the averages and see what we have. Okay, so as far as supports and resistances, come on, there we go. So everything is above us. Okay, so now in the ARC averages indicator, let me just enable the EMA 7 and EMA 9. And there we go. Okay, so very likely facing the EMA 7 resistance right now. We do have the EMA 9 located at about 92.66. So we do have kind of a trek for us here. Okay, so let me just keep on looking at this here. Okay, because I already see a sign. Let's see, $1.32. That sounds very familiar. Okay, so if we have $1.32, that means that the 8-hour could be potentially giving us that target. No, it's still 177. Okay, you guys, so now let's get the bias for direction. Let's go to the immediate short-term time frame RSI from the 30-minute and see what it's got for us, okay? So consolidation on the 30-minute. Let's go to the bi-hourly and see what it's got. So consolidation as well. A little bit of an upside pivot here on the 14-day simple, but please notice that when you have a downside getting close to the gravitational zone, you very likely will come back down. But the saving grace here is the 14-day simple and the oversold percentiles gravitational zone. So this is suggesting consolidation for at least the first few hours of the trading session tomorrow. Okay, so the consolidation looks likely to lead to a downside, and a downside that is limited. So historically speaking, is there anything that we have around this level down here? It doesn't look like it, actually, because we just capitulated. So we are at a 52-week and an all-time low, 78.01, right? So that means that on the 6-hour, we have to take a fib and rely on the geometrics for that to give us that support probability, right? So the last candle iteration, swing high to the swing low, and then we can actually see what the potentials are. We're already facing support from the 1.618 at 77.45. So the probabilities of the 6-hour reaching all the way down to this area, first of all, I don't like this pivot, and second, we are in the gravitational zone here, which could essentially pull us back. But if we were to consider a drop all the way to the 14-day simple moving average in the RSI, I think it would be safe to expect a drop to about 71.55 at the 2.272, right? So right at about this area here could be a zone, right? And also, guys, never doubt the markets, right? You can definitely wick down to the 2.618, even the 3.272 terminal shakeout to the upside of spring, right? So let's go ahead and continue on the analysis here, because I do feel like there is some upside to this. It just needs to validate a couple things first. 12 hours suggesting some downside with a rejection of the 14-day simple. Let's see the daily. Daily, very tiny pivot. Can't use that little pivot. Never do like them, right? So this is suggesting consolidation on the buy daily, because we are rejecting from, I'm literally rejecting from the 30% right here, and then bouncing from the gravitational zone up and down, right? So this is still suggesting some sideways trading. A little bit bearishness. It looks like on the 3-day, the bears are starting to lose a little bit of that strength, and the 5-day as well. Okay, so that tells us that there is loss of strength by about, let's see, we're on Monday. Thursday or Friday, there could be a loss of overall bear strength, but this bearish engulfing is definitely suggesting a downside touch to about 71.55 alongside all of the earlier time frame RSI. Okay, so if the setup is really happening on a higher time frame, then that means that volatility versus momentum could be primed on the buy daily and the 3-day as well. And there you go. All right, so we're already getting that pivot on the 3-day, on the buy daily, sorry. Wow, our people still critical volatility here on the buy daily. Let's see the 3-day. 3-day also primed for a setup too, guys. So it would be imperative for EGIO to look for a downside first, so that we can solidify the absolute oversold area before a bounce, right? So EGIO is definitely setting up a really nice one and it could be in respects to maybe late this week or the following week. Okay, so EGIO, keep it on your watch lists. This thing could actually make some nice moves, and we can always, gain the probabilities within that. Okay, so now if we're looking at a little bit of formation analysis here, we are in the process of bottoming out at a potential channel. Okay, so this is a descending channel, of course, in the 5-day. I see the line. I totally see it, right? But it's just being ridiculous. Here you go. Right, so something like this, and come on, man, what is going on? What is going on? Here we go. Okay, so even, let me see if we did. Oh, no, yeah. Oh, wow. Okay, I see it. Damn. Yeah, this is a very, very aggressive little ticker here. Okay. All right, so let me get rid of this line now, and then I'm going to take you in very close to see what I am looking at, okay? So, I said 71.55, right? The bottom side of our channel. 71.44. So 1 spot 272, and that was discretionary. Okay, so very likely this can touch down to this level. So it's matching, right? So meaning that we have, let's see, one test, we have 2 tests. The upside could be very well wanted here by the short sellers too. The short sellers would want to rip this thing to about $1.36 or $1.32. Right? So now, why does that sound familiar? That 132 level was actually on our averages, and that 132 level is specific to the daily, I think, at EMA 50. Right here, 132. Okay, so very confluent targets. Know that the resistance line of this is not for the daily. The resistance line of this channel here is for the 5-day. Okay, like this. Not every time frame trades the same formation. Okay, so right up to the upside. Let's see if we were to do it here. Yeah, 144 to about 132 could be our resistance right at about this area here. Nice. Yes, guys. So 132 to 144 is our resistance level. I love it. All right, good deal. Yeah, I'm thinking next week, maybe by middle next week, that it could potentially make a nice little play. And if you are curious to see what that thrust can be, then from the 71.52 area, it very well could be not in one shot. Remember, guys. So these plays tend to take. These are definitely swing plays, maybe 4 to 5 day hold. But this would essentially present a potential 93 to 100% move to the upside. Very cool times here. I like it. EGIO looking very juicy. Let's go ahead and end that ticker now, you guys, and go ahead and move on to the next one. Okay, so some very good opportunities coming up. Let's look at ticker symbol HUBC and see what it's got for us, right? So let's get rid of the ARC variant and see what we have. Okay, so first of all, let me just give it a quick gander. Oh man, guys, I forget that this is that ticker that has no historical value. And remember that I told you the last time that I may very well fail at this, right? But I can give you some idea as to where it can go. So it looks like we got very close to my targets, and it looks like we got very close to my demand zone, but it's not quite what I like, as close as I can get it, right? And that's in respects to not having like enough data. Okay, so if we are looking at this, there could, man, it's the hourly time frame. I hate it. I hate it that it's so small, right? So there could be a setup here right now, okay, and I believe that setup could be in reference to. Let me just make sure that I can get this. It's a little more, it's difficult to actually get it in line with the shorter time frames, right? Because oftentimes the candles are a little more sporadic. And they do express a lot of noise, right? Or more noise than normal. Okay, so it could be a broadening ascending wedge that we're riding at the moment, right? So let me just see if it is true that we could be at a support very soon. And wow, it is. Okay, so this is the touch here, this contact here, broadening ascending wedge, pretty much confirmed, and on the hourly, right? So let's go ahead and take into consideration our tests of the resistance, as I actually think that this could be it right here. Okay, so, geez. Could it be actually? Yeah, actually, I think it's like this. Yeah. Okay, so we have test number 1, we have test number 2, and 3. So if you guys remember, test number 3 is historically the test that actually triggers the short sellers to enter position and take things to the downside, right? So we have that third test, we have the capitulation, we have the recovery to come back and test the resistance. We validate the resistance, we come back down to wave number 2, perfectly to wave number 2. We make that upside pump by covering, right? And then we set the bull trap. So bull trap gets set and then the downside comes in. Okay, huge shakeout right here. But this could potentially be another bull trap. Okay, if you remember correctly, the rules for a broadening ascending wedge, 3 tests of the resistance followed by a capitulation, right? Cover at the next, I'm talking about after these covers here, right? You cover at the next geometrical target, which could likely be at about the 2.618, 168. It actually has a lot of confluence there. So essentially this target here, I'm just going to modify it just a little bit here so I can take it down to the 2.618. And followed by a bounce, right? And then we would validate this as a resistance. Then this can fail. The overall, what the short sellers are looking for from the hourly time frame here, and it could play out over the span of about 2 days, right? What the short sellers are looking for is this target here, 134. This is what they want, right? And it is a bearish setup. Okay, so we now that we know the play and we see what's happening, we now have to start validating that thesis. Okay, so is the thesis to the downside even viable? So let's start that off now. Okay, so let's go ahead and look at the 30-minute immediate short term, even though we were on the hourly already. Okay, so potential support being touched at the 14-day simple, but on a downtrend. Okay, so very likely a very short-term upside here on the 30 minutes. So meaning that if we're able to bounce from this 14-day simple and face a rejection from the gravitational zone, it is very confluent with covering this gap right now. Okay, so the top side of the 30-minute, which could essentially be the short position signal here, would be $2.20 and a continuation to the way down. But we're going to validate that. We don't know if this is going to continue to the downside. We want to validate it with the signals first. Okay, so let's look at the bi-hourly time frame suggesting downside, and the downside is looking like it's losing a little bit of bear strength. But remember that it's only losing bear strength because we're approaching. I want you to notice here on the bi-hourly how confluent the 1.618 golden mean is to the bottom side of the support of the wedge. Okay, go ahead and just notice right here. Look to the right where my cursor is, $1.95 to the 1.618. Very likely the bi-hourly RSI suggesting a bounce from this area to about the $2.11 zone, and then a continuation to the downside. Okay, but we need to continue validating. Okay, that doesn't mean that it's it. 6-hour time frame, let's see what it's got. Downside pivot crossing below the 14-day simple moving average in the gravitational zone of the bull weakness percentile, sorry. So this is definitely suggesting a continuation as such. 12-hour time frame, losing a little bit of bear strength. We don't have any 14-day simple moving average now because there's limited historical value, but the downside is still there, and I don't know where the supports are, and I don't have a daily read either. Okay, so as you can see, there's literally nothing here because there's no information. If I were to judge this just based on the 30-minute to 8-hour time frame, then the target for tomorrow that I'm looking for is, like I said, $2.20 rejection here down to the bi-hourly support of the 1.618 at $1.95, short-term bounce to about the 211 area, rejection, bounce from the 177, 2.272, rejection from 199, continuation. Okay, so then we will look at it and see what could be happening. Okay, but HUBC looks a little bearish in my opinion right now. Be very careful as this can lead to a continuation to the downside after this touch of about the $2 zone, right, or 195 resistance confirmation. The downside to the 3.618 being very, very close to these targets here is very likely. Okay, you guys, so we have to be very careful with how we proceed with HUBC, okay, because HUBC does not look like it's running in sympathy or in any type of influence to the broader markets. Okay, so the broader markets may very well see an upside continuation, which would honestly, I hate to say this, but it would probably pressure some of the longs at a loss to get out of this in respects to chasing the markets. Okay, you guys, so remember, you guys, I don't know if that's going to happen. I'm just giving you the probabilities here. I'm just giving you the geometrics, everything in mathematical perspective, right? So there's no way I can tell you that that is what's going to happen because I don't know. I really don't know. The thing is here is that you can call it as lucky as I am. I don't know. The thing is that I just speak what the charts are saying, and that's it's in respects to that, right? So, of course, I don't wish for anyone to lose in these markets, right? So just know for a fact that I'm looking at what I'm looking at here. Okay, so I hope that this forecast can kind of give you an understanding of the potentials here, because if we're looking at, I mean, if you're just curious, right? If you're curious at a present price, $2.12, coming back to the one spot to the two spot 272, that's a almost 17% loss. Okay, so if we continue on to the target that I told you about, very, very close to the 3 spot 618, that is a 31 or almost 32% loss. Okay, so this is a play for the shorts. Okay, so this is a very, very sought after play for the shorts. They usually make this price action happen, and they use the longs as liquidity upon test number 3 if you don't know how the setup or the play goes. Right, so definitely study these formations, as they often play out pretty. I mean, I hate formation theory in general, you know, because they don't have enough of a hit rate, but this formation does. Okay, you guys, so and a right angle triangle. Okay, you guys, so let's go ahead and finish off HUBC and continue on to the next ticker, which god damn, man, I actually need a drink of water. Let's get a little sip of water, you guys. We got to hydrate. Good times indeed. Okay, so let's see what the next ticker is going to be, guys. We're going to be looking at ticker symbol REI, and let's see what it's got in store for us, right? So we're starting at 9:56 p.m. All good. Ticker symbol REI. Let's go ahead and load up the daily. Make sure that we're on the log chart here and continue on the analysis, right? So let's see. Oh, I see the setup. I see it. Okay. All right. This does not look bad, actually. It may have found the floor. And guys, never take any of that seriously when I just say it out of nowhere like that, right? So it's just my mind runs wild the moment I see formations. I'm talking about price structure, right? So let me just look at the tools that we need, right? So in this case, what I mean by price structure is that there could be a descending channel on this, and the descending channel is overall bullish, especially when you're looking at it from a higher term time frame, like the one we're on. It is a daily, right? So very likely we could be in, let me see if it is actually the floor. I'm not sure if it's the floor just yet, but we can validate. Okay, hold on just a sec. So do we have another area that we can take into consideration? Hold on while I manipulate the crap out of these charts and see if there is another potential way to look at this, right? So we have to get as creative as we can be when looking at charts like this, right? So in this case, there could be this in line. Let me see if I can line up the supports right down here. Let me see the red. Where's the red? Where's the red? There it is. Okay, so this red one, let me just zoom in, right? So this wick, this tiny little wick, seems to be connecting very good with these two wicks, which are connecting very well with this tiny little wick right down here, right? So some of those connections, some of those dots, when I connect them that way, is just me being really ridiculous, right? But if you're curious as to the upside wick, so I'm looking at this support from this wick here, right? So let me just zoom in a little bit so that you can not be curious over what I'm looking. I'm looking at this wick right down here. I'm looking at these two wicks touching perfectly there. And that's about it from that area there. So if we are looking at this channel on a daily, it could be an error. And now, why am I saying an error? Because the thing is that it could be traded on a daily, or I'm sorry, on a bi-daily or even a 3-day time frame. And it could be in respects to a few things. Okay, so let me just take into consideration that possibility as well. Okay, so let me take a channel here and see what it is. Guys, this is what you're looking at here is discretion. Okay, so this is discretionary trading or discretionary charting, of which it's not bad. It's just that I would rather mathematically back things than not, right? So I would say probably not. Let me just go ahead and keep this in line with the bi-daily or the daily, as the bi-daily actually could play a better role here. Okay, so now one more thing that we want to test is why did we never reach the top side of this, right? So let's just bring this down to these levels here and see if there's anything back here that connects to these. Okay, so again, discretion, right? So you're looking at straight discretion at this point. So let's see if we have anything of particular interest, right? So I'm not looking at anything of particular interest there. In fact, what you want to do is not force a formation, right? So in this case, I do believe that we are just at test number 1 of this bi-daily channel, and we could be at the floor and potentially looking at a continuation to the upside to test number 2. So if we are looking at REI in the overall picture, then we could be trading this. We could be trading this channel here for a larger amount of time. Okay, meaning that the support right now that we found was in respects to this gap here, right? So we're currently sitting right at the support of that gap, and we're suggesting a continuation to the upside. I like it. Okay, but it's not my biggest like ideal situation here, because this is very similar to CRTD actually. So why I'm saying that is because we're at a demand zone right now. Okay, so this demand zone is actually this range right over here to the support touches of these. Oh, and of course the candle came down to it, right? So there you go. So this is demand zone number 1, right? So the second demand zone would be taking your highest pivot, which would be, let's see, yeah, your highest pivot could be this one right over here, and to the lowest pivot of the prior price action or historical price action, right? So in this case, we can see demand zone number 2 located right over here. And if you can see, plotting that demand zone number 2 matches the support or the resistance touch of this candle iteration too. So that's now demand zone 2 located. Okay, so we can always continue on another demand zone as it's potentially down here around 85 cents, but it's a little far away and I don't think we have the liquidity to drop that far right now. Okay, so in respects to the current demand zone, then there is a higher likelihood for a continuation to the upside. Okay, so now let's find out to see if the averages are giving us any type of current support. Okay, so let's load up my ARC averages here, as I do have every single average I use in relevance, right? So by daily, of course, it's just everything's going to be above us, right? We may have to look at shorter time frames. Okay, so if we are suggesting a continuation to the upside, there is a gap here on the daily, okay? So we want to pay attention to that because that gap is a psychological component, right? Right here to that top side of that red candle, to that green candle wick low. And notice where the SMA 10 is located, right at the top side of that gap, right here to right here. And that gap resistance could be 185 to 189, very likely to find a resistance touch, come back to about 181 and continue on and onwards and upwards, right? So let's continue validating now. So I like the setup so far on the daily volatility versus momentum. Critical volatility here, small upside pivot already on the daily. Okay, so that's already suggesting a continuation to the upside. Let me look at the bi-daily volatility versus momentum. Okay, not quite there, but still the pivot is happening. Okay, so we may have a limited upside before a capitulation. So now let me look at the RSI, and then we shall make a conscious decision. Okay, so let's go to the 30-minute immediate short-term time frame and see what we have in store. All right, so we have an upside continuation, definitely within the gravitational zone and crossing the 14-day simple moving average, very likely short-term upside, right? So by hourly time frame, it's suggesting a little bit of an upside. You know, I hate these pivots, but I have to call it right now because it's very close to the gravitational zone of the bear weakness percentile. Okay, so that's already looking not bad. Let's see. Let me go ahead and look at the with the 4 hour. Well, screw it. No, this was my fear. I was going to say, if that pivot is so small, then why am I going to look at the 4 hour? So let me just jump to the 6 hour. And there we go. So the 6 hour is, in fact, giving us that bias for the upside. Okay, a little bit of consolidation, a little bit of bearishness, very likely to trade within the range of about 173 to about 175. or 177 tomorrow in the early session before a continuation to the upside in the second half of the trading session coming up. Okay, so now the 12 hours should be upside too. Okay, so crossing the 14-day simple moving average, definitely an upside to be looked at, and I expect there to be on the bi-daily or 3-day RSI some limitation. There we go. Okay, actually on the daily. So we had that limitation, 14-day simple at 39.37, very likely to be at 189 where our top side of the gap is located. Okay, bi-hourly should have a similar thing. Yep. Okay, and the 3-day, it looks to be, 3-day and 5-day are waiting for the shorter time frames to kind of validate that upside move, but definitely an upside move from the current price action, even down to about 173. If we can actually touch the bottom side of our demand tomorrow, that'd be highly ideal, but I'm not sure that we can actually do that, right? So 163 to 177 is the range, but overall, I am looking at an upside for tomorrow to about 188, 185. Okay, so the next thing we want to kind of keep in mind is the 12-hour volatility versus momentum. Okay, so this is pivoted to the upside, and there is a contraction phase starting from critical expansion. Okay, so now let's look at the 8-hour. The 8-hour is very much the setup that we're looking for. Okay, so that tells me that there could be a limited resistance. Okay, so meaning that we have that resistance at the 185 to 189, come back to, just like we talked about, come back to the 181 current highs, and then continue onwards and upwards to potentially find resistance at 206. The play is nice. Cal L saying very interesting chart. Yeah, I had to actually get a little special with this one, right? Because there could be trickery in line, but I think we may be at the floor, or very near it, right? Even if we're sitting at about 177, I get it. It's just that this, I think, is the floor, right? So then the choppy trek is just going to be in respects to the zigzags, the natural ebb and flow of the markets, right? So I like the ticker actually. This is a good play. It's just definitely going to be a little it's going to be chop as hell, man, all the way up. So let's see. Market cap sitting at a very nice 319.71 mil, and the float at a very small 97 mil. Okay, so this is not exactly it's not so high risk because it's pretty much 100 million in the float, but I would honestly prefer 250 to 500 million. But this is in essence not as risky as other assets can be, right? So I like it, you guys. I definitely like it. All right, so that is going to do it for ticker symbol REI. And yes, Stick Vicious, you are definitely looking at that ticker symbol INM coming up. And I'm not exactly familiar with this ticker. Remember, I only covered it maybe one time. I think it was only one time, right? So now Stick Vicious saying INM is a cannabis med stock, made good profits from 180 to 230 on a swing. Very good call, bro. All right, so let me just take a sip of water here and continue our analysis. Yeah. Make sure, guys, to hit that like button, subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already. All right, so let's get it moving. Let's load up our tools yet again, right? Let's look at volatility, let's look at momentum, and see what we have in store for this. Okay, the averages, we'll load up the RSI as well. We'll take a look at formation analysis. We'll take a look at current demand zones, supply zones, and see what kind of creativeness we can create within this, right? So let me go to the daily, though. Daily time frame is usually my go-to, guys. It's a daily and 12-hour. Those are just such important time frames for me. The daily specifically for pinks, for OTCs, the 12-hour for NASDAQ, Arca, NYSE, and other tickers alike. Okay, so I already see a setup happening, and we're at the resistance right now. Very, very much the reason why we actually face that resistance today. 144 after hours, 146 traditional market hours. Okay, so let's go ahead and look and notice what we have here. Okay, so this is the signal for a descending or a falling wedge, right? So it could be found in respects to something like this. I really don't like that that trend line there. So in fact, it could actually be a channel. Let's see. Let's just validate this. Okay, so yeah, damn. This could very well be a channel. It looks like a triangle though. And if we're gonna force the triangle in there, right? It could actually be like this. In fact, that's definitely it. We have resistance touch here, support touch right here. Okay, now in respects to this, let's see. Could be right. Yeah, there it is. There it is. Okay. And go ahead and notice, if you guys remember, if you guys watched me, right? So you'll know that I always talk about the breakout point. Actually, let's go ahead and create a little bit of a poll here, right? So I'm going to start off a poll. Okay? So, and how could this be? Let's see. Correct me if I'm wrong, okay? So I'm saying 50% triangle breakout. Okay, so you're just gonna go ahead and tell me if I'm wrong or if I'm right. Okay, so 50% to the apex triangle breakout. Okay, so meaning that this is we have to kind of adjust it like this, right? And are we looking at ourselves breaking out of a 50%? Yes or no? Start the voting right now. You guys let me know if I'm wrong or if I'm right. And I would like for the community to dive in and get you involved so that you can determine whether we are at that breaking point or not. So we have already a 67% yes. Okay, so when does the triangle usually break out? Is it the 50%? Is it not? Is it yes or is it no? Big Boss, PXMD. I'll go ahead and add it into the schedule. If we can make it to it, we'll definitely get to it, my bro. Thank you for coming by. Okay, go ahead and please, guys, dive into that vote. Are we breaking out? Is it typical for us to break out of a channel? I'm sorry, out of the descending triangle or at a triangle in general? Really, is that 50%? Yes or no? Go ahead and let me know right now what you guys think. Okay, because we're gonna just make it a little bit of informative. Theory right now for everyone, right? So Mark Roach saying I'm holding PXMD to top average $2.28. Nice, very cool, very cool, very cool. Okay, so Mark Roach, Cottonmouth for the pot stock, perfect. Good deal. JDXL VDRM. Let me go ahead and I see that actually came in right before that one, right? So let me go ahead and put it in the list here. And if we do have the time to get to it, my bro, like I said, right, we'll definitely try our best. VDRM. I'm not paying attention to the chat all the time right now, right? But please go ahead, guys, and finish off the voting as we want to know if the triangle breaks out from 50% or no. Okay, so VDXM. Is it VDXM? Sorry. I think I have a little bit of a. Where is it? I see you. Oh, VDRM. Got it. Thanks, man. Thank you. Okay. So it looks like the voting may have come to a slow stop, right? So we want to find out if the breakout point is the 50% point from the triangle or not. Okay, so we have a vote right now of a 70% yes. So I'm ending the poll in 5 seconds. Okay, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1, and that is the end for this poll, you guys. So I want you guys to I want to express this, and I want to repeat it as much as often as possible. Okay, so triangles do not break out at 50%. Okay, we want to make sure that triangles at least get to the 65 or 70% point to start looking at our breakout play. Okay, so we are, basically, I mean, look at that, 70% breakout. You're already on point. So right now, you guys, we are arguably at about 60%, 65%. So this is a typical breakout for a triangle. Okay, so this is a very good thing. So meaning that the upside for INM could actually be in play. First of all, we did gap up, creating a very huge support line right here, right? David Bard, what's up, man? Good to see you here. And you said you were right again. Good times. So the support line that we created was essentially now the top side of this triangle, which is a good thing. You know, usually when we use gaps to the downside, we can use them first as a support from the top before we even intend to close them. Right, you guys? So let's go ahead and gain the possibilities for an upside here. So if upside is our theory or our thesis, then let's back it. Okay, let's go to the 30-minute immediate short-term time frame and see what we have. Okay, so we have a little bit of consolidation on that 30-minute. It's no problem. It just has a little bit of bearishness here, but it's likely to live out fast. Remember, guys. Okay, so consolidation also starting on the bi-hourly upside pivot on that 14-day simple, and we've used it several times as support before continuations to the upside. Okay, so now the 6-hour time frame is I hate these little pivots, but again, just like the other ticker, I have to point it out because we're very close to the gravitational zone. When we're close to this gravitational zone, there is the potential of getting pulled into the bull strength percentile. Okay, so let's look at the 12-hour with that tiny little pivot. I hate it, very close to the gravitational zone here. But if we're going to face a downside, I would really like this pivot to be favored to the downside even more. That's not significant enough. Okay, so we're going to face a little bit of choppy action for the next trading day. Okay, so now following into the daily and into the bi-daily, that's where the setups are actually very powerful. Okay, so starting maybe Wednesday or Thursday, if sentiment allows, or if the psychology allows for this, then we could definitely, I mean, I don't want to say definitely, right? So we could potentially see a continuation to the upside. Please look at the bi-daily and the daily RSIs just moonshotting, right? We definitely have that 14-day simple below us now. Okay, and now we're smack in the middle of the bear weakness percentile. There's no danger to come back down from the gravitational zone. In fact, we're getting closer to the gravitational zone of the top side for a continuation to the upside. Okay, now the 3-day iteration is crossing that 14-day simple, and we have an upside pivot as well. Okay, so go ahead and now notice that starting on the bi-daily, we have critical oversold and we have critical expansion. Okay, we're starting to contract, upside pivot. Let's look at the 3-day. We're starting actually to continue. Wow, if we find a support from this 14-day simple and this is still suggesting an upside, the 3-day time frame could be setting up a maxed out volatility up run while maintaining itself at critical like this, literally this situation here, and this thing continuing to the upside, just like this, right? So whatever that move was, this move, let's see how far that actually went up, right? So it looks like, no way, oh my goodness, 226% move to the upside. I'm basically telling you, I mean, look at where we were, okay? Retracement from where? Retracement from 78.4%, right? Just a little bit lower, actually, 77.39. Look at the cursor to the right where we are, okay? And then look at the touch back down to the moving average, and then the upside to, I didn't notice this, I just said that very likely we can continue on another play here. We can max out at volatility, stay here with an upside pivot. Right? And look at where the pivot is starting from right down here at where? 7.31%, and look at where the upside pivot started. Well, let me see. Let me just get as close as I can to it right there. 7.91, very close. Okay, so this setup is very similar. I'm not saying that we're going to go up 200%. I'm just saying that statistically speaking, there's already one supporting it. All right, so meaning that this could be a nice back test for us to perform. Okay, so low float on this stick. Let's go ahead and look at the cap and float. Okay, so I&M tiny 4.85 million cap, and float is at a 316,000. Okay, so definitely high risk, but what I can say is that it's way overvalued. Okay, so $1.46 is actually huge for the market cap and float. Let me see what the variant is saying. Where is our reversion going to? Oh, look at that. Very curious. We already reverted on the 3-day dead on to my ARC reversion variant indicator. We touched that 166 and rejected right from the mean. Okay, so now particular to the bi-daily, let's see how far we are from it. Okay, so we are actually above it. Interesting thing here too is that the bi-daily is finding the resistance from here while the daily is trying to break out. Okay, so the shorter time frames are going to be the saving grace for this. Okay, so notice right here, a lot of people tend to trade indicators in this manner. Okay, notice this downside here penetrating outside of the Bollinger Bands, and we have this candle here penetrating outside of the Bollinger Bands. This is a typical trade. Okay, meaning that as soon as you're outside of it, you sell, or as soon as you're outside of it, you buy, right? So interesting times right here as it is kind of playing the math very nicely. Okay, and also the mean on the daily sitting at that 123. Notice how the daily candle has used that mean as that support, which is also confluent with the triangle top. Okay, very, very cool things happening for INM. Okay, I actually do like the play. And just know that the last time I looked at an upside for this, it actually did a very quick upside and then it came back down, right? So know that those probabilities are there even still, okay, you guys? So I mean, I like the play. It's definitely suggesting upside, right? Even in the 8-hour time frame, we have we have expansion happening at a very aggressive rate. We have upside on that. We have upside on this stochastics, right? And we are testing the top side of the Bollinger Bands at the current moment, right? 140 is essentially that top side, right? So if we are able to break out from this area here, that means that there is going to be a very large expansion to be followed. Okay, and why does that sound familiar? I'm saying a very large expansion to follow when we're testing the outside of the Bollinger Bands. That's not usually how it trades. We trade inside of the Bollinger Bands. So when we break outside of them and come back and test a support from the Bollinger Bands, turning red like this, that usually means huge expansion is about to happen. And it sounds familiar because I'm telling you on the 3-day time frame, volatility versus momentum, about to find a support from the moving average and critically expand into maxed out with an upside pivot, just like it did here for a huge move to the upside. That's what I'm looking at. Confluence. I'm looking at relevance, right? I'm looking at rhyming. So there could be a potential here, you guys. And notice that the 3-day time frame algorithm has given us that long signal right down here. So we are, per the algorithm, we're long at 108. And we're sitting at 146, right? So traditional market close and then 144 after hours. I like it, you guys. I like it a lot. And I mean, upside targets, guys, we don't even know right now. But if we were to kind of guess, then there is a way for us to look at that. First of all, there is a price objective. Okay, so from the triangle itself, we can take it from the top side of the triangle all the way to the supposed lowest area of the triangle. We apply it to the breakout zone, which is that candle that we're in right now, suggesting a top side of about 227. Okay, 227 is the high of this candle, the high of this candle right over here, and there could be supports right over here as well. Okay, so geometrically speaking now, is there anything to match that? So from the bi-daily iteration, I think it's going to be a little too small to take just one. Yeah, it is. Okay, so let me take an overall range, right? So we'll take it from the current high to the lowest low of the range and see what the bi-daily fibs have to tell us in a retracement. Okay, so let's see. So we're okay. right at the 0618 is the triangle suggestion. Okay, so that's very good already. That's very nice. Okay, so we stopped right now right at the 0382 as resistance. So the geometrics are following very nicely. Okay, you guys, if we do find that resistance, which is very likely for us to find a resistance at the 0618 223, expect a pullback to about the 0382, 173 or 198 before a continuation to the upside. And that upside may very well be explosive. Okay, so INM presenting a very interesting situation here, you guys. All right, so let's just go ahead and leave it at that and move on to the next ticker and see what we have. Okay, so let's see. Daniel Campbell, I'm not sure that I'm going to have time for that, my dude, but I'll definitely put it on here. BSFC, let's see. I will have it on there, okay? And now remember that I'm going to be, let's see. Sunday, Monday, Wednesdays, and Thursdays is the stream schedule, okay, you guys? So Wednesday would be a very good day for us to come back and evaluate what happened to the markets. In respects to the rate hike, right? So all good in the hood. Okay, so now let's move on to the next ticker, you guys, and that is going to be ticker symbol CDTX. Man, oh man, what is going on with this ticker? Huge upside move here, right? And it's actually on a daily time frame. This thing has been moving up for weeks. What is going down? Very good deal here. Let's see. Let's see what it's got in store for us. My goodness. And Karen Harkins, I think her last name was, if I'm not mistaken, right? So she's not here right now either. So 70% breakout. Yeah. All right, so RSI, right? Let's go ahead and load up the RSI as well. This is the guy this guy, Be the Trader, the influencer. He's the one who interviewed Lance Brightstein, and he also interviewed Evan Shunk and Chris Shunk, actually. But Evan Shunk and Lance Brightstein are actually one of my two of my favorite statistical systematic traders, right? So they are very powerful traders. And even Be the Trader, he's a very good trader himself. He's a discretionary, right? So I don't care about the style, guys. I judge the results. So if you got the books for it, man, let's do it. All right, so let's take a look at this ticker and then see what the probabilities are, right? So let's get our averages into perspective as well. And damn, very powerful 50-day moving average right now at 146 at a dead relevance for all of this demand zone here. We have an upside, and right now the test that we actually faced today is a dangerous test of the SMA 10. And I'm saying this because when we have a hammer candle like this, it could be considered an evening star, right? So there is a potential for a downside here. So I'm not going to say that that's what's going to happen. I'm just saying that the probability is there too, but seeing the price action currently, this thing is very, very bullish. Okay, so let me take something into consideration here, as we are already breaking market structure and creating a series of higher highs, higher lows. What I would like for this not to be is a rising wedge. Okay, so how can I validate that? So this is very psychological here. Whatever happened here is super psychological and could have been the blow off top. Okay, so if that is a blow off top, then we could be facing a very bearish formation. This is a rising wedge. Okay, so rising wedges usually present a downside, and it's the accumulation of shorts for a downside. Okay, so the price objective is found similarly to the inverse triangles as well. Okay, bottom side of the triangle to the top side of the triangle at the 65 to 70% breakout zone, the supposed zone, right? So arguably somewhere around here. And the downside targets would essentially be right in confluence with the very bottom side of our triangle right now at $1.36. Now let's validate that target with an inverse fib from the current wick high to wick low of the day's price action. Okay, $1.38 landing right at the 2.618. Okay, so that gives us a range now of support. Okay, but that support is very likely going to be short term. Okay, so something like that, but I am not, what I want to tell you is that I'm actually not looking at a straight drop to the downside. Of anything is possible, really, but I'm not looking at a straight drop like that, right? So let me take into consideration maybe if we have anything below us here from the EMA, maybe actually. Okay, so the EMA 30 could actually be the one to look at, right? So let's just go ahead and look at this potential here. So if we do face a support touch, it could be the range of about the 1.618, 156, the EMA 30, and the bottom side of these candles here. So which could be at about 150. 150 relevant touched right support. Validation of resistance coming back down to the 2.618 where the SMA 50 will likely be located. Bounce to the upside. We'll likely get a resistance touch from the 2 fib or the 156 at the 1.618. Continuation to the downside, and that would be the end of this up run and of the breaking of the official market structure, which is already in play. So notice that we have a high here. We have a higher high, higher high, higher high, and then we have a break of market structure here. Okay, so that's already indicating weakness coming in. I'm not certain that that's essentially what's going to happen, but it is very, very likely. Okay, so go ahead and notice that the faster time frame daily stochastics, the 3-day exponential moving average is already losing its bull strength. Okay, and we in fact are now not continuing on the expansion zone. We are now starting to contract again. Okay, so which means that this could potentially be loading up another run to the upside, but the downside must be first. Okay, so Man, so 30-minute immediate short term is facing resistance from the 14-day moving average right now. Let's go to the bi-hourly and see what it's got. Let's see. So we do have consolidation on the bi-hourly. We can't use that. Definitely can't use that. Okay, 6-hour time frame has we have penetrated into the bull strength percentile, but we're in the gravitational zone now with a little bit of bear, with a little bit of bull loss, right? So that strength is losing a little bit, right? So very likely this can actually face a downside over the next session. Okay, so if that downside does get realized, then it would essentially be the support of our triangle down here at about 161. Okay, so 12-hour time frame. Let's see what it's got. 12-hour time frame losing its bull strength as well. We are in the gravitational zone here, so there could still be a little bit more of an upside, but then the rejection from the gravitational zone of the bull strength would bring us back down, right? So now let's look at the daily consolidation. Man, and we're already starting to get the rejections. We got the cross below the 14-day simple moving average, and now we're in the process of validating it as a resistance. So things are looking a little sketchy here, okay? So, and now go ahead and notice that the 3-day is at resistance from the 14-day simple, and also contraction phase starting with the downside right here. I know we have a little bit of pivot, but it's very likely something like this. Okay, so I really do think that this thing is blowing off, and I think that may have been it. Again, sentiment, I'm sorry, psychology can take this into a different direction, of course, guys, but if we have enough psychology trying to FOMO this thing because it's run up so ridiculous, this is way too frothy. Okay, so from this day, which was December 22nd, 2022, it's been running against the markets and overperforming the markets since. So it's only natural for this thing to pull back big time, okay? So the upside thrust that it did was a massive 300% to the upside. This is more than fair. And it's already going to start returning what it gave. In my personal perspective, right, you guys? So that is it for ticker symbol CDTX. And guys, I would like to express to you that this was the last ticker for us tonight, right? I'm already losing my voice too. And please remember, guys, be safe in the markets. I would really hate to hear anybody in a losing position, right? I know that losing positions are normal, right? But please be careful in the markets. Okay, you guys, don't take this as gambling, okay? We have to respect our family's money, right? So of course we work for our hard-earned money. We definitely do, right? But we have to work at it, like I am too, guys. I have my little toddler right outside, right? He's screaming over there, "Daddy, where are you at?" All right, the little 3-year-old over there. So my daughter, my wife, we have to protect ourselves, guys. Okay, so please be careful in the markets. Don't just gamble your money. Make sure to have a thesis behind you. Okay. And yeah, guys, don't take my word for it. I'm not a financial advisor, okay, you guys? I'm just an entertainer here, showing you my perspective, and I hope that it's good for you. Okay, you guys. But with that said, I wish everybody a very good night, especially my moderators. Stick Vicious, thank you for your donations so much. Okay, so Coder, what's up, man? Thank you so much. I'm sorry that I was not able to get to it tonight. I definitely have to get to my toddler. He is due for some things, right? So. That's the terrible part, but I have it on the schedule still, and we'll definitely take a look at it, okay, my brother? So, Beso, Amy, thank you for coming by. My moderator, Samantha H., Mark Roach. I'm not sure if I saw DJ or Hound here. Hound, what's up, dude? Good to see you here. Cal L., right? Love you guys. Sebastian Lim, thank you so much for everything you do. XX, thank you for stopping by. Right, Daniel Campbell, we'll try to get to that on the next stream, right, you guys? So, Vic Boss, thank you for everything you do. Thank you for coming by. Thank you for hanging out. Miss L., have a very good night, okay? I know you're still there sometime. You're still there somewhat, right? So Samantha H., thank you for everything you do. I really appreciate you, okay, you guys? But with that said, I wish everybody a very good night, and I will catch you mañana at the bell. Adios.